Posted September 27, 2018, 18 hours 50 minutes and 58 seconds. Do you remember the graphic image of a woman's bloodied mouth resembling the pattern of the English flag during the World Cup? It was part of a campaign in the UK highlighting troubling figures that showed incidents of domestic violence increased by 26% when England play, and rise by 38% when they lose. With the AFL Grand Final on Saturday, could we see the same pattern here? Victoria Police Chief Commissioner Graham Ashton told 3AW today that police see about a 20% increase in incidents of family violence on Grand Final Day. It's one of our biggest nights of the year, Grand Final night, for family violence, he said. Mr. Ashton said New Year's Eve saw the biggest spike, with a 50% increase in family violence. He added that on average police were called to a family violence-related matter every 7 minutes. AFL is not the only Australian sporting code to notice this trend. Recent data showed that on state of origin nights, domestic assaults jumped by 40% on average and non-domestic assaults increased by about 70%. Domestic Violence Resource Centre Chief Executive Emily McGuire said it was difficult to pinpoint exactly how much family violence rates rose during particular events. There could be a spike in police reporting, there could be a spike in hospital admissions, or there could be a spike in women accessing crisis services or accessing refugee support, she said, but they are all totally different data sources, so it's really hard for us to categorically say yes, there is a spike and this is where it comes from. Anecdotal evidence suggests that you might see a spike at particular times. Examples include around peak sporting events. It absolutely includes times around Christmas. Ms. McGuire said that spikes in reporting did not necessarily mean there was more violence, just that it was reported. Alcohol can fuel violence where it already occurs, experts say. Shea said one of the drivers of domestic violence is an aggressive masculine culture where there is disrespect towards women. AFL and rugby are incredibly male-dominated in terms of players. In terms of officials, there is a highly masculinized culture around that, she said. That doesn't mean that they're all going to be violent towards their partners. The combination of highly masculinized culture and a culture of sport that is about physical aggression, those two things combined mean that the cultures people consume or watch it are more likely to be cultures that condone or ignore violence against women. Ms. McGuire said research showed alcohol could be a factor in domestic violence, but did not necessarily cause violence. We know that lots of men drink and don't hurt their partners, and lots of men who hurt their partners are stone cold sober when they do, she said. What the research does show is that high levels of alcohol consumption can increase the severity or the frequency of violence in relationships where violence is already existing. Topics: community and society, domestic violence, Melbourne 3000, Vic.